What it do, YouTube? It's your boy being on the back with another video. So, boom, got another story time. So this story time was thought of by my homie Doe. He gave me an idea to talk about this. So fuck it, we gonna talk about it. So this story time is about the time I got caught smoking weed. So this was 12th grade year, and a little backstory. So 12th grade year, my parents kind of let me off a leash initially because I was 18 at the time, and being a 12th grader, so they kind of were more lenient with me. So that means I wasn't in the house as much, and I was dibbling and dabbling in adult activities. I really wasn't the biggest weed smoker coming up. The first time I ever smoked weed was my 9th grade year, but every time I smoked weed outside of that, it was an occasion, like probably like a couple times a year you'll probably see me doing it, but it wasn't like a heavy or consistent thing. So 12th grade, I kind of had this mindset of like, I never had any bad experiences with the shit, and if anything, I felt more joy when I did it. So I was like, I'm getting left off this leash by my parents. So shit, I'm gonna be a full-time weed smoker. I'm gonna smoke weed more often my 12th grade year. So, coming into my 12th grade year, my people would like leave me here. Well, they would always leave me at the crib by myself, but in the beginning of the year, they left me here for like a week. And so that's really kind of how all of that started, just me smoking, weed consistently. And as the year went on, it's just that became a part of the budget, and it just became a part of the lifestyle. So this time that I got caught, I didn't get caught, I want to say this straight up, I didn't get caught in the action of it. I got caught because of word of mouth. So y'all really might not believe this, but I got caught on 420 with the guys. Yes, we got caught on 420. And you would think like that shit don't even sound right, like getting caught on 420. Like you wouldn't even think that shit sound right. So this is 12th grade year, 420 come around, and it's on a Friday. So me and my partner Evan, y'all know Evan from the last story, my partner Evan, the day before, we're grabbing a whole bunch of wraps because we knew that we were gonna smoke a lot of weed the next day. So we was kind of already, getting everything straight from when we got out of school. So 420 comes, which is on a Friday. So we go through the school process thing. We get out of school. Evan, that's the first nigga I go to, and then we go get our buddy Sean, and we go get one of our other partners. So we got down. We had to go. I think we had to go get some more shit. So we started driving around for a little bit, and we spark up. You know what I mean? We spark up while we driving around, and we first blunt out of school on 420. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say the person house that we was smoking that name, but just know he was like, he didn't care if we came over because he had a gazebo, and he had like this big bush. And keep this in mind, he had a big bush in front of his gazebo, and he lived relatively close to where my man's Evan lived. So he never really cared if we came over there and smoked in the gazebo because he was real cool with us. Like he smoked himself, like he didn't care. So we already knew that's what we was gonna do. So Evan had to hide his car because his mother was gonna come home, and if she saw his car there and didn't see him there, that kind of would have been suspect. Now, I'll also say this: we all lived in the same neighborhood, so it wouldn't have been odd for him to walk to my house. But at the same time, you got a car. Why is your car parked in the driveway if you are at my house? You know what I mean? So he had to hide his car in the neighborhood because he knew his mama was going to come home. So, keep that in mind too. So we finally get everything, and this is around the time we were smoking Rellos. This is so cringy. This is around the time we were smoking Rellos. So we roll up, I think, how many heads? Like 4 of us. We smoked like 3 blunts. We smoked like 3 blunts, just to get the day started, because we already had copped. Me, Sean, and Evan had already copped weed the day before. We all put in the cop, and we had planned on like matching and linking with a bunch of niggas. You feel what I'm saying? So we start off light. Three blunts go on rotation. We start off light. And, you know, we all chilling, having random conversation about football and shit like that. Just typical nigga shit. So, eventually, we getting close to, like, the roaches. And so, Evan mama comes. She end up, and like I said, I'm not going to say exactly where the person house we was at lived, but she lived close enough to the point where we knew that she was there. Like, we could see where she was at. So, his mama pull up. And this shit is so dumb. His mom pulls up, right? And so Evan starts freaking out because he knows that his mother doesn't pull up and then go in the house. Like, his mother pulls up and be posted up outside for like 15, 20, 30 minutes. So we telling Evan, like, bro, just chill. Like, because remember what I said, we in a gazebo and there's a bush in front of us. So we kind of tell him, like, bro, just chill. You good, my nigga. And so, like, he kind of kept like, okay, I want to say this now because I know Evan's gonna watch this. Evan, I'm not blaming you, but I'm blaming you, if that makes sense. So Evan kept like standing up and kept like kind of not like peeking out the gazebo, but like he kept standing up. And like I said, we were close enough to the point that if she looks back, she might be able to see this man.
Let's go here.
So Evan kept like doing this shit, and eventually I think his mother saw him. So his mama called him, and she tell him like to come across the street because, mind you, I think Evan mama was starting to place a couple of things together because she didn't see his car and she saw him like where she saw him. So, and mind you, Evan's eyes is bloodshot red. So she saw his eyes and instantly knew what that shit was about. So we sitting there, we finished the roach, we put the roach out. I think like 5 minutes later, Evan mama come storming. She come in the gazebo. She like, where Evan car at? Where he park his car? We know where he parked the car, but we so high and we kind of like, we not finna rat our brother out, so we kind of like just sitting there like looking at his I don't know, like we knew, but again, like we're not finna be like, oh yeah, his car over here, you know, we're not finna do that. So she mad, and so in my mind I'm thinking I'm kind of scared because I don't want her to tell my mama, because remember what I said, we all live in the same neighborhood. So I'm a little bit nervous because I was like, because my people didn't know that I was blowing at the time. I think my dad knew, but I don't think they really knew that I was blowing at the time. And mind you, this is around April at this point, so I done got away with it the whole year up until this point. So, so mind you, Evan go get so Evan go gets his car and he brings it back. Mind you, our stuff is in his car, so like our book bags and all type of shit, they're in his car. So we have to walk out. Me and Sean, we walk out, and we gotta go to Evan's car while Evan's outside and his mama's outside. And his mama, I know Evan's mama loves us to death, but she was just so disappointed and mad at us. It was so much of a shame walk to the car because we had to get our stuff. So we go get our shit or whatever. And so remember the dude I said that didn't mind us smoking in his gazebo. He came out and talked to us because Evan mama was kind of like making a scene, because you know, and so he came and talked to us. Like, he didn't really give a fuck because he understood like we young and we just living life, so he understood. So he ended up offering me and Sean a ride back to my crib. And Evan mama was like, nah, you let them walk. They should be ashamed of themselves. She just going off on us. So we ended up hopping in the car, and folks took us back to my crib. So, goddamn, we pull up. And so me and Sean, we go in the back, high as hell. We just start shooting the basketball. And we kind of just playing it by ear just to wait to see if we hear from Evan. I think like probably like 10-15 minutes into me and Sean just shooting around. My Dukes Kick open the back door. Boom. Get in the house. Miles, get in the house. She just spazzing. Get in the house. And so at this point, I was so fed up with, like, I was so fed up with my mom treating me like a baby still. Like, it was kind of like, I felt like I've been in the nest my whole life and she not letting me spread my wings and fly. You know what I mean? I'm trying to spread my wings like a beautiful white dove and fly, my guy. And so I had felt like it was I was like, you know what, because I already kind of knew what this was. I kind of felt like Evan mama came and told my mama type of thing, just based off of how, you know what I mean, she came about it. So I'm like, nah, I'm not coming inside. I was like, nah, I'm not coming inside. She was like, yes you is. Get your ass inside right now. I was like, no. She was like, Miles, get the fuck in the house right now. So she's screaming at this point. And now she kind of starting to see people starting to come outside. I'm like, all right. I'm like, Sean, I'll be right back. She like, get your stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm coming back out here. She like, no, you not. I was like, watch me. So I don't get my stuff. I come inside. My mama thumped me inside the back of my head. I get in. Thump. And I don't. And like I said in the other video, I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be touched, and I hate being fucking thumped. I hate that shit. So my mama thumped me in the back of the head. And so, obviously, we know what this is. We know what this is at this point. So, my mom's, she's spazzing on me, but I'm high, so it's like, and I don't really respond well to, like, being yelled at and cussed at. So, it's kind of like, it wasn't really nothing that I had to say, because I told him straight up, either we're going to have, and my dad's downstairs with us, right? I'm telling them either we're going to have a conversation about this shit or it's not going to be nothing talked about, because I'm not going to respond to you yelling at me. And so I guess my mom ain't like that. So she get to getting louder and all type of shit. And so, my mama was mad. So I'm like, all right, well, it's whatever type of thing. Like, I ain't really care. Okay, so what happens next is kind of like, it's fucked up. And I don't expect nobody to agree to what I did here, but I expect people to just hear what I got to say here. So my mother kept thumping me in my head, and I told her, like, yo, stop doing that shit. Like, because that shit was pissing me off. So I'm like, yo, stop doing that shit. Well, I didn't say that originally, but I'm like, yo, can you stop? And she spazzing. You don't tell me to do nothing. You shut your ass up and sit there, this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So then she thumped me again. And so at this point, because remember, I don't like to be touched or yelled at. So she's doing all of this shit. And this is probably the only time I can say I cussed at my mother. And to this day, I don't think I should have done that. I really think that was the drugs talking. But I get up and I'm like, not standing over her, but like I'm sitting down. We in the living room. I'm sitting down. I stand up. I'm like, yo, stop fucking plucking me. I said it just like that. But it was because I'm just angry. Like, if we not gonna have a conversation, then what are we here for? Because all you're doing is just cussing at me and yelling at me and plucking me, and we're not really having no conversation. Everything's just based off what y'all saying. So, and mind you, I live in Virginia, and this is before it became legal in Virginia. You know what I mean? So I kind of understood where she was coming from. So I stand up and I say that shit. And so my dad was kind of cool, and he wasn't yelling at me, because my dad, one thing I can say about my dad is, yeah, he was real disciplined on me coming up, but like he was cool with me as I got older type of thing. So I knew my dad was willing to have the conversation, but because he saw me do what I did, he couldn't just sit there and let me do that, because that's his wife, you know what I mean? So my dad stand up, and mind you, I sit back down, right? So my dad stands up, he standing over me, he like, you don't fucking talk to your mother like that, da da da, and he pointing his finger in my face, and I'm real big on, like, I'll never let nobody stand over me or tower over me or point a finger in my face. I don't care who you are. So I ain't like that, and I'm high too, so I'm feeling a little bit like, oh, let's go. Like, if you want to tussle, old man, we can tussle. So I stand up, I push the nigga. I'm like, yo, bro, get your fucking finger out my face, dog. Fuck is wrong with you, dog? You got me fucked up, bro. Get the fuck out my face. And this is just this is a mixture of me being high and me just feeling like y'all have held me in the nest for so long, and I just felt like I was releasing everything at this point. So my dad kind of looking at me like he ready to tussle. So I'm like, what you want to do? What you want to do? And so my mom come, and mind you, I'm like 6'1". I'm a big nigga. Let's just keep it at that. I'm 6'1". I'm a big guy. My mama like 5'4". Let's keep it a being here. My mother can't push me even if she tried to. So this say a lot of how high I was. My mother came and she gave me a light. What's wrong with you? She gave me a light like push with her hands, and I fell back down on the couch. But it was because my legs, when I get high, my legs just, I don't know, like that's why I sit down most of the time when I smoke, because my legs just, I don't know, they just weaken up on me when I smoke. So my mama pushed me, I sit back down, and then eventually we start to have some type of conversation. Like she wanted to know how long I've been doing it and all type of stuff. And my mother said something that was like, it was funny because it's like, come on now, like I don't even think she believed what she was saying. She said something along the lines like, I hope you enjoyed the day, because that's the last time you, Sean, and Evan is all gonna be around each other. And mind you, me, Sean, and Evan, well, up until this point, we've been cool for 17 years. And like I said in my last video, I know that if everybody turn their back on me tomorrow, those are going to be the people that's standing with me. So when she said it, I'm like, I kind of giggle, because I'm like, come on now. It is funny she said that, because I'm going to also include what happened the day after. Well, I'm going to sum up what happened the day after. So that happened, and so my dad ended up, this was the first time I saw my dad cry, and he was only crying because my older brother, he had ended up going to jail because of having a large amount possession of marijuana, and he ended up going to jail for that. And I guess they just didn't want that to happen to me, because remember what I said at the time, I live in Virginia, this is before it became legal. So my dad was like not crying, but like he was shedding tears, because he just didn't want that same fate for me, because my parents have always been big on, they always say you have more potential than what you show us sometimes. And I agree, because I even tell that to myself, like, oh, 21, yeah, you wanna go? I'm lazy, so like the potential is there. It's just I'm so lazy sometimes, and I understood where they was coming from. So after that, my dad was like, we can't be with him 24/7, so we can't tell him what he can and can't do. So I'm like, all right, cool, end of discussion. So I go outside, you feel what I'm saying? Sean ended up leaving, so I guess all of us got busted. And Evan, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, tomorrow this gonna all burn over. We gonna we didn't really get to finish off 420, but we'll smoke the rest of the weed. This man, Evan, mother threw all the Rellos away and flushed all the weed down the toilet. Nigga, that hurt. Even now, that shit hurts me. Even now, that shit hurt me, because back in that time, like, getting money was like, I'm not gonna say we won't get in money, but like, we still in high school, so we won't fucking getting it like we getting it now as adults now in our early 20s. So like that shit hurt us. We like, damn. So the night goes over, or whatever the case is. The next day, Sean is with his sister, because I don't know if his mother kicked him out or he left, but he's with his sister. He's living with his sister now. And so Evan comes over my crib, and I think Evan mama took his phone. So Evan come to my crib. My dad was in Hampton and my mama was at work, so I got the free. Remember what I said? My mama said that all three of us wouldn't be together no more, right? So Evan come over, and so me and Evan trying to figure out what we about to do, because we trying to figure out how we gonna go get Sean, because Evan mama got his phone and his keys, so we trying to figure out how we gonna smoke, because we like fuck all that shit, like we about to smoke again type of thing. So we ended up, before we ended up walking to Wawa to go to the ATM to withdraw bread to get some weed, fucking his mama pulled up to my crib and shit like that. And it's like, I ain't gonna say what was being said, but it was some stuff being said, and Evan ended up storming off, and like she ended up leaving, whatever. So we ended up walking to Wawa, And odd enough, the nigga that we caught from, I'm not gonna say his name neither, but the nigga that we caught from, he ends up being there. And so he's about to go get some weed. And so he like, yeah, y'all could just hop in with me and whatever the case is. We hop in the car with this man. Tell me why we end up getting pulled over. And this man got roaches in the car. He got crumbs of weed in the car. All this other shit. I even recorded, and I'm telling y'all, wait till I get like good at editing so I can insert clips and shit. I got a video of like us getting pulled over. And we like, bro, this can't eat. Like, what are the odds? Like, we get in trouble yesterday for weed, and now we get pulled over, and we might get in more trouble because this nigga got weed in the car. And you know, so the police pulled us over, and they said his tail light was out, which that's a lie. It wasn't. And so they pulled us all out the car. Well, they didn't pull us out the car. They told us to get out the car, and they were talking about searching us. And so I don't know how other people act when it comes to police, but I don't really like if a police kill me because I you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it's just me and police don't go well together. You feel what I'm saying? So dude was like, I'm about to search y'all. I just tap my pockets for him, and he kind of, because I'm the biggest one out of all three of us, so he kind of like, yeah, I ain't even gonna fuck with big bro. So because it's two of them, it's two police officers. So dude talking to us, and the police officers say, and Evan can vouch for this, the police officers say, did y'all have a good 420 yesterday? Did y'all smoke a lot of weed? Like basically trying to disrespect us in a way. And like me and Evan kind of look at each other like, nah, officer, we don't even smoke weed. And then I say to him, I'm like, why you bothering us though? Like, there's other people doing worse shit than what we doing. So, and he like, oh well, you know, the tail light out, blah blah blah. And it's so ironic that this happened as we're on the way to go get weed. Like and sometimes I even think like, I'm glad that this was on the way and not coming back type of thing, you know. So I think Evan ended up telling his sister where he was gonna be. So fucking Evan hop out when we get to where we get to, and he leave with his sister. And I stayed with the plug, and I hit plays with him for a little bit. And then he take me back to my crib, drop me off. This man Evan come back and get me in a whole new car. Like, well, not a whole new car, but you know what I mean. Like, he driving his sister whip. He come back and get me. We go get the gas. We go get Sean, and then we go and literally we're smoking with each other by this lake that we normally go to. We sitting there all smoking with each other, and we laughing like we smoking and looking at each other and just laughing like, damn. Just the day before, my Dukes was talking about that was the last time we was all gonna be with each other, and now we all with each other right now doing the same shit we got caught for doing the day before. And we were just sitting there, we were laughing because this shit was just genuinely funny. Like, we were just laughing at that shit. So that's basically that. Like, I ain't gonna really get into kind of like what happened like days afterwards, because I feel like that's for them to talk about, and that's not really for me to talk about that. Like, I only want to kind of say shit that's, you know, I'm only gonna tell you what I want you to hear type of thing. So, but that's pretty much the story about how I got caught smoking weed. Damn, this is a long one. I don't know how many of y'all finna make it to the end, but yeah, that's pretty much it. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Like, that took a lot of dedication, because I can't even watch 20-minute videos. So if you made it to the end, I appreciate it. Again, give me suggestions. You know, give me suggestions of what you want to hear from me, what you want to see me post, and story times, all type of shit. You know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. Make sure you tell a friend to tell them about me. I'm out, man.